Salute, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to another episode of the Real Lil Show. It's going down, just so you know. LeBron James has made his decision that I thought he made probably 2-3 weeks ago. But he finally came out with it, and now he's going to Philly. All right, and we got a lot to break down, and I got my guy Lee, and I got another guest here on this show, Tyrone. They said that they cloned Tyrone, but I see you still here. All right, so what's going on, man? Tyrone, welcome to the Real Lil Show. How you
Thank you,
feeling?
sir. Thank you, sir.
How's it going, man?
Oh, man. It's an absolutely great day for a great cigar and some good bourbon. Go James.
Leel, he's celebrating. That's what he's doing, right?
I don't know what he's celebrating. I don't know at all. Maybe he's celebrating my sister's birthday coming up in 2 days. But it ain't nothing else to celebrate for. Lee, how you feeling, man?
Man, I'm good, man. Big news day. We're gonna wrap this thing and unwrap it all the way around, man. It's gonna be a good show, and we're gonna go for it. Let's do it. Let's talk about it.
And salute to my guy Kenny. Now, I know my guy Kenny got thoughts as well. Feel free to drop them as well as we go along here. And we might as well get to it, shall we? We're going to talk about LeBron James as he made the decision to go to Philly on a 2-year, $8 million deal. Now, the question that we have right now to kick us off is, did LeBron James make the right decision to end his career in Philly instead of going back to Cleveland for his homecoming? And Tyrone, you being the guest, you being the LeBron James fan here on this show, I tend to call out LeBron James bluff, but you seem to be his fan. I'm going to give you the mic first to answer that question.
Yeah, man. Again, so thanks again for having me. Love being on with you guys. But absolutely, he made the right decision to end his career. If it's about winning, not the feel good story of going home and kumbaya and all that good stuff. It's about winning. Philly gives him the best chance to win and win in the next 2 years. It's about winning and being comfortable and around those players, and he feel like he can help those guys not bring the championship there. He's going to help bring the championship to Philly. So yeah. So he's that piece that they needed, and I do believe that he made the right decision.
Lee, talk to me, man.
Look, man. First and foremost, Lil, I call this. I've been calling it for 3 weeks, right? I mean, I've been calling Philly. Philly was if he wanted to win a championship, it was only Philly, really. Cleveland gave him a chance to do it, but the talent level that Philly has with Brown and Excombe and Embiid and Maxey, and they picked up the Simons kid and the Dean, the power forward, and who else am I missing? All of these guys, the Phylon guy that they got from Alabama, it's just a loaded team. Now, did he make the right decision? To me, Cleveland would have been a formidable team if LeBron had went there. The issue with Cleveland is I don't think he wanted to play with James Harden, Leel. I just don't think he wanted to play with James Harden. The ball tends to stop when Harden's there, and I just think that was more of what pushed LeBron in the direction. Could the Cavaliers have won a championship or competed in the Eastern Conference? Absolutely, with LeBron. They could have, I think. But I think for LeBron, the type of basketball they play and the style of play is what is attracting him more to Philly. Now, if you wanted the feel-good story like Ty said, yes. And that's part of me that would have loved supporting him in the storybook ending, going to Cleveland. It's almost like a movie just getting ready to be made, a real-life Last Dance type of deal. But he made the right decision going to Philly, no, hands down, no question about it. And along with New York, they're the favorites in the East. And I put them, Lil, and I know you hate for me to say this. I know you're going to hate it.
Say it.
I put them slightly over the Knicks when it comes time to winning in the playoffs. They may not be the number one seed because it's going to take some time and Embiid getting hurt. But when you get to the playoffs, if you give me a healthy, and we'll talk about this in a few minutes, A healthy LeBron and a healthy Embiid, I give him a slight advantage. But I do think it was better for him to go to Philly than to go for the hometown Cavs. It's just the sentimental part of me says, yeah, go to Cleveland. My brain and the winning side of me, Philly was the right choice.
Yeah, I might have to have a no smoking before my podcast policy, because this is ridiculous what I'm hearing right now. Now, salute to my guy Kenny for mentioning that. You know, I haven't really thought about that from that perspective. I am a big numbers guy, numerology and whatnot. You know, I think the world is scripted to some capacity and whatnot. So I won't be surprised if the mathematics check out there. But look, the reality is, no, LeBron James did not make the right decision to end his career in Philly. He should have went back to Cleveland for his homecoming. You see, this right here, and look, I get it. Y'all looking at things from a basketball perspective, and clear, obviously, we talking basketball.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
When you talk about other factors that play into the situation, when it plays into legacy, obviously, we're going to talk about legacy later on. I think this complicates LeBron James' relationship and make it a more love and hate relationship with the franchise that drafted him. Sure, he helped them deliver a championship. Obviously, you got to put Kyrie in it because Kyrie did his thing as well. So when I say help deliver Cleveland, you know, and his heroics obviously played a massive part in Cleveland winning that championship in 2016, ending that 53-year playoff drought. But he chose Miami back in 2010. He bolted to Los Angeles, and now he had Mr. Gold Tailored on the podcast, which Paul come out and say, you know what? LeBron James is looking for happiness. It's not about the money. It's about happiness. Okay, cool. All right, I'll take you for your word. So you mean to tell me that Cleveland LeBron James doesn't make you happy? Right? It seems like you really hate Cleveland then. Because the last time I checked, it was Cleveland that my team had to beat to make the finals. So clearly, they were not that far off. Now, obviously, with my team playing them and beating them up like a bunch of kids at the candy store, it may seem like they were far off. Yeah, we made it look like that. Hello, we had a dominant basketball team that won the championship. But theoretically, they were close. They were right there. LeBron James could have went and played with James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. He's from there. He was drafted there. I mean, come on. This is the story that he could have rode on a donkey. Imagine him delivering Cleveland a championship twice.
With olive leaves, huh?
It wasn't going to happen, Leel. It wasn't going to happen. This is why. He just played with Luka. Playing with James Harden is just like playing with Luka. He didn't want to do that again. The ball stopped in Luka's hand when he was in LA.
And so LeBron, he didn't move LeBron not going to have the ball a lot either here.
Well, he didn't have to have it, but he just needs to have somebody who doesn't stop the ball in their hands like a Harden and a Luka. He needs the ball to be moving. So he didn't have to have it all the time in his hand. And as far as going back in the feel-good story and all that, riding off in the sunset, you know, Rich Paul also, he said that it was not about the money. He said it was about happiness, but he also said it was about fit. We can't leave it out now. If you're gonna tell the story, you got to tell the whole story.
Yeah, and I'm, you know, if you didn't interrupt me, the whole story would have been told. Okay, now I get it. He didn't like Kenny Atkinson's comments either, probably, right? Analytically, you lost Kenny Atkinson, by the way. You didn't analytically win LeBron James. LeBron James is in Philly. All right, that's a little jokey joke. But talking about this homecoming, again, I'm looking at the relationship with Cleveland because there's no franchise that would defend LeBron James like Cleveland will to their grave. Maybe, obviously, you, Tyrone, is a LeBron James fan, but in general, Cleveland got his back, and he could have went right there, but guess what? He passed on that franchise for the third time. To me, that's a love-hate relationship, if you ask me.
And they will still have his back when he retires. LeBron James will always be great in Cleveland.
We'll see about that. But
yeah, he's always going to be held to a high regard in Cleveland. You can't, after all those years of not winning the chip, and he bring it to you, and you probably won't win it for another 53 years.
You dumped him 3 times, and had a golden opportunity to go back over there. And you talk about happiness, and clearly, basically, what you're saying to me is that you hate Cleveland. But the 76ers, I want to talk about them. I want to talk about them on paper. Because on paper, sure, I give it to y'all. Looks great on paper. but paper don't win championships. LeBron
Absolutely.
James obviously has a great basketball acumen, so I'm not worried about his adaptability when it comes to playing with these guys. He could play with anybody, right? That's why even the James Harden thing, again, I still trust LeBron James' basketball acumen to fit in. He had to fit in with
No,
Luka.
but it's
A
not
lot of
about
people
that,
thought
though.
that he couldn't do so, but he did. He obviously could pass the ball. He could impact the game with one pass, one dribble. He could set screens. He could run pick and rolls. He could dominate in transition, right? But he could affect the game, period. But I worry about guys like Jaylen Brown. You see, I'm a
Why?
big Jaylen Brown fan. And
Why
right
though,
now,
Leel?
Jaylen
Why?
Brown is on his revenge tour because he's good with the ball in his hands. He's not good off the ball. And then on top of that, he wanted his own team. And look, I'm a Jaylen Brown fan, but he went on the podcast basically subliminally saying that he loved this season because he had his own team. But guess what? This is the farthest away from your own team since 2021 when Kemba Walker was on Boston, when you was a
Leel,
number 3 then. So
you're putting words in his mouth, though.
no. We're not gonna play that because
He
you
didn't
took
say.
that same way too on the show. We could run the clip.
Yeah, but he didn't. He said it was his most gratifying year, but he didn't say because he was the man that it was his most gratifying year. He didn't say that. And let me say this: he won a championship.
What does that
playing
mean
as the second fielder? He
when
wasn't the
somebody
main guy.
says that this was my favorite season, and
His
it was a
favorite
season that you
season.
blew a 3-1 lead in the first round of the playoffs?
It doesn't
That can
matter.
only mean one thing, Lee.
We're not talking about the playoffs. He was talking about the entirety of the season as he grew, and he grew as a leader. Now, let me say this, Leel. You keep saying, first of all, you made a comment about happiness the last time. Rich Paul nor LeBron never defined what happiness meant. I believe happiness for LeBron is winning the 5th title because he's trying to chase that ghost of Michael Jordan.
I don't believe that.
That's what happened. Oh, there's no doubt about it, Tyrone. The happiness would be winning that 5th title because he wants to put another notch on his belt on that GOAT conversation. That's happiness. But to say that he can't play with LeBron James has played with Dwayne Wade, Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, and Luka Doncic. He can play with anybody.
But guess what, Lee? He didn't play with them on the same team at the same time. Okay?
It doesn't matter.
He did
It doesn't matter.
All right. Now, again, like my guy Kenny said, there's too many cooks in the kitchen. Too many. Too many.
Played with Embiid.
One basketball.
He played with Embiid on the Dream Team, and that was a million different cooks in the kitchen, and they won a gold medal.
It's the Olympics League.
People like to say this stuff about there's too many balls. No, if you're a great basketball player, you learn how to fit in. That's why Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown won a championship and won as many games as they did. Leel, stop that. The issue here is only one thing. And you're a New Yorker, and you and Kenny, for that matter, y'all are a bit nervous right now.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Let's keep it a buck. That's what it is.
Kenny Mount, Lee. Don't do that to my guy Kenny.
Nervous right now.
That's what it is.
That's what's driving all this.
I'm happy.
He would love it. He would love for him to be in Cleveland
over there because you know what? LeBron James is going to expose exactly what I've been preaching. That all this ring chasing super team experiments do not work. It doesn't.
What do you mean it doesn't work? He's chased rings and won 4 championships. What are you talking about?
Long time ago, Lee. Long time ago.
So I asked you this question right here, and I've seen it all day on the social media about super teams. Was Philly considered a super team before they signed a 42-year-old LeBron James? So now they become a super team now because of a 42-year-old? Come on, man. Really?
No. I mean, they are a super team.
At least every time LeBron go play with anybody, it's a super team. No, it's not. He went to LA and they was garbage for 6-7 years before he got there. They called it a super team. Time AD got there. That's not a super team, man.
Nobody called LA a super team. Miami was a super team.
They tell me when Anthony Davis got there and they had old Dwight Howard, they had Rondo, and they called that a super team. That's wasn't nothing about that super. They had some guys who was aged who could still play, but it wasn't a super team. But because LeBron James play on any team, it's a super team. No. Kyrie and Kevin Love.
Now we have excuses now.
No,
so Miami wasn't a super team.
There's no super team. I
Miami
mean,
was a super team. No,
Come
no,
on,
Miami.
come on. Let's stop the
Miami
man.
definitely was a super team. Miami, and I'll say this: Cleveland was a hand-picked team by LeBron. We have to be honest. I'm not gonna, he picked Kevin Love.
he picked Kevin Love.
He picked a lot of those players. But that look, he still ran up against, and he did that because he was facing a Golden State team that was a super team. So you had to pick and to match that.
And the reason why it was a super team was because LeBron James created the modern day super team. All right, and look,
So we're gonna act like Rondo, Allen, Garnett, Pierce. That was before any of that. So what did they create? They decided to play with each other.
Constructed super team right there.
Was that a super team?
That was front office constructed super team.
Right? What's the difference?
Job is
if you think Pierce and Garnett didn't get together and said they wanted to play with each other, I got some swampland in Louisiana. I'll tell you, but I promise you that. Yeah, no way.
Next question, though, Leel. Let's get into the next topic because I want to see. I want to know how scared you and other New Yorkers are in the Eastern Conference. As far as this team, Philadelphia, this team, I want to know how scared you are because it seems like there's a lot of nervousness going on to me. That's what it seems like.
I totally agree,
Leel, that LeBron James going there and his IQ to play basketball changes the total dynamic. His ability to make people around him better changes total identity of the 76ers. Even with the thing that's over Philly about Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid only has to play 45, 50 games in the regular season. As long as he's ready to go in the playoffs, Philly don't have to be the number one seed. They just have to be in the top 4 seeds. And in my opinion, they're going to represent the East.
Yeah, Lee, again, we could dream. Dreaming is cool. Martin Luther King had one. But at the end of the day, the New York Knicks is in prime position to repeat. I am not worried about the 76ers at all. And in fact, Lee, maybe we just forgot. Maybe we bumped our head this morning when we got out of bed. But the East been making moves throughout the whole offseason. So put my Knicks to the side for a second. Let's look at the landscape of the Eastern Conference that, in my estimation, I could agree, has gotten significantly better compared to last year. Miami, they made the move for Giannis. Obviously, Toronto, we'll see about Kawhi Leonard if he gets suspended or not. Anyway, load management would have been in play anyway, so they clearly are better. Cleveland is still a force to be reckoned with. The Eastern Conference.
How many of those teams are better than
Boston
Philly?
Boston is not out the way.
None of them, Lee. None of them.
How many of those teams are better?
Right now, this move just made Boston better. I'll take Boston over Philly right now. Because one thing about Boston, they know how to play. They know how to play together. Obviously, Tatum, he gets to play with a floor spacer at this stage of his career, and PG, who's more of a 3-and-D guy at this stage of his career, so he fits better. All right, as long as they can get through the regular season. They got Mitchell Robinson. They got a big. They was missing a big last year. They are going to be better than the Philly 76ers.
You fishing, and you ain't coming up with nothing, bro. You fishing hard.
Hold on. When you talk about the New York Knicks, I'm going to let y'all get right back in here.
All right.
We talk about how there hasn't been a repeat champion in the last couple years. You know why? Because of that second apron. And they losing a lot of talent. For example, the Nuggets lost Jeff Green, Caldwell Pope, right? Off of that championship team. Last year, obviously, we know they were missing players as well. The Celtics blew up their team. But guess what? We brought everybody back. We brought
the Thunder brought everybody. The Thunder brought everybody back.
We brought everybody back.
The Thunder did too. But what happened?
The Thunder was hurt. They were hurt. That's what happened with the Thunder. Otherwise, you're right. You made my point. They would have went back to back. So the Knicks brought everybody back.
The Thunder was supposed to be this deep team that could overcome everything. That's what the GM.
Well, guess what? It took the Spurs 7 games to defeat them. It took the Spurs 7 games to defeat an injury-riddled team for what that's worth. So the Knicks are going to be right there. I am not worried about Philly.
They're right there. No doubt about it. They're right there. They are right there.
They are not even top 3 Philly. Give me the Raptors. Give me the Celtics.
Leo, come on, man. You got to be. Come on, Leo. Come on, man. Come on, man. I know this is a bad. I know this is a bad day for you, but come on.
It's a good day. We know it's a good day. I got a pay raise. All right, I'm making $12,000 more than I made yesterday.
Yeah.
Let me say this, Lil. I want to all joking aside, because I know one thing about it. The Knicks will be there. The Knicks are a very good constructed team. They're going to be there. But Lil, and you know better than this, and I'm not going to allow you. I'm not going to be on your show and allow you to say that the Celtics are better than the 76ers right now. You're better than that. You know better than
Unfortunately,
that.
they are. Now, I was digging this Jaylen Brown revenge tour thing, and for a second, I had Philly better than the Celtics. But when I saw this move and how this is going to make Jaylen Brown I won't say a non-factor. Obviously, he's going to get his, but he's not going to be as effective as he would be if LeBron James didn't sign there.
Why do you say that? Tell me why he's not going to be as effective.
Because he's effective with the basketball. Even when he won.
LeBron ain't gonna take the ball out of his hand.
Yeah, but they was doing it your turn, my turn. Tatum had like 7-8 assists per game. Tatum actually he had to develop as a playmaker in order for it to work.
Remember this about Boston's team, Lil. You had Derek White shooting threes. You had Pritchard shooting threes. You had Tatum shooting. It wasn't just Tatum.
That's the point.
It wasn't just
so with
Tatum
the floor
and
spacing,
Brown. They had
with the
all
floor
of these
spacing,
players.
it allowed the space for Tatum and Brown to do their thing with all that spacing.
Philadelphia.
So Philly won't have that spacing.
Let me say this, Ty.
LeBron is not a knockdown three-point shooter, and he can't consistently knock down a three-point shot. I mean, what are we talking here?
Philadelphia is going to be so dangerous. First and foremost, Maxey off the dribble is going to kick, because now you can't sink low and help out on Maxey off the dribble. Now you can't, when you isolate Jaylen Brown, you can't double him because you got LeBron who is knocking down threes at a 40% clip, and you got all the spacing on the floor. And let me say that, not to mention that if Embiid is healthy, hell, he's the X factor of it all, because there's not a better center in the NBA when healthy than Joel Embiid. So
you missed the part where you said when.
You talk about Simon's coming off the bench. You talk about the XCOM, his young talent. Defensively, they're going to be great. Look, Lil, that's a problem. Now I know you guys. I mean, sometimes I love my New York brothers and sisters, but sometimes y'all take it too personally and live in la la land. This is not LA. This is real.
You know, this is a city that never sleeps, right? We always awake. We always alert. We know what's going on.
It's going to be a problem.
Nah. Anyway, I do want to transition to LeBron James' legacy here.
All right.
Because I feel like we're going to spend another 15 minutes on this topic alone. And that'd be a good way to cap off everything.
Absolutely.
What does this signing with the 76ers have on his legacy GOAT debate? Tyrone, I'll let you begin.
Yeah, let Ty start that.
When I hear people talk about, at this stage of his career, man, LeBron's legacy is sealed, man. It's sealed. He's a 4-time champion, 4-time MVP, all-time leading scorer. You name it. We can go on and on and on talking about the accolades. I'll tell you this, Bill. I know a little something about Lee. You probably don't think I know about him. So Lee, we're from the same hometown. Lee's he graduated with one of my older brothers. Lee was a very academic student. He's good in sports, but he's a very academic student too. I don't know straight A's, maybe 4 A's and 1 B or B plus, but he was close to being a straight A student. So when I say that, I say this because I liken LeBron James to Lee Jones. Everything, this is extra credit. Lee was good already. When he did something, it was a little extra, right? So LeBron, this is extra credit for LeBron James, man. It's sealed. He's sealed. The legacy is sealed. He's going to go down as one of the greatest of all times ever, if not the greatest. We can debate that in every barbershop and every mall or wherever you want to go. Somebody's going to say this, somebody's going to say that, and that's okay. It's all about where your loyalty lies. But as far as his legacy, man, it's sealed. He's good. It doesn't take anything away from him.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think LeBron is thinking about his legacy and going for number 5? And do you think that is? Do you think he feels that's important to his legacy, Tyrone?
Absolutely not. Nah, I don't think so. No, I just
Lee,
think
what do you think?
LeBron James is a guy, man. I mean, he's a guy who loves ball. He loves ball, and it's still burning in his belly that he still has a lot to offer to the game. You know, this guy is not somebody who's going to jack up a bunch of shots just because he's LeBron James. He's always going to make the right play when everybody may say he should have shot it. Oh, Kobe would have did this or MJ would have did. LeBron's going to play the game the way he was taught as back in Akron, Ohio, when he was playing in the Y, you know, when he was coaching in those small leagues. He's that guy who's still fundamentally sound. He's going to do everything the right way. So, yeah, I don't think he's doing. I think he knew he couldn't do it in LA. Right? He knew he couldn't do it in LA. He's going there. He wants to win another chip. But at the end of the day, I don't think he's saying, oh, if I don't win it, my legacy is shot. Nah.
If they don't win if Philly doesn't win the championship in his 2 years, it hurts his legacy. Leel.
I would think so.
It hurts his legacy. I mean, you handpicked the team.
At that time he'll be 44 years old, whether 43. Yeah,
and Leel, I'm gonna jump in there because I know we're gonna gotta get off this shortly. But he handpicked the team, and I love LeBron. He handpicked the team. He didn't go for the sentimental team that everybody would have loved to see him go back to, because he did it because he felt that Philly gave him the best option to win. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's what GMs do all the time. They bring in people.
We talking
they do it all the time.
LeBron. At this point, LeBron could have done, and he's the man. So if he certainly wants to win another title for his legacy. And if he doesn't win, when you have a team that we just said, Leel, was what at the top of one of 3 or 4 teams that could win it all. If you don't do that and you handpick the team, oh yeah, that hurts your legacy now. Let's be honest about that. You cannot have it both ways. If he's at Philly, and if they don't, especially if they don't make it to the finals,
they're gonna make it to the finals.
If they don't win the championship, it still hurts him within these 2 years, and it does dampen his legacy a little bit. Now, I don't feel he's a GOAT anyway. I love him, but this will hurt, Leel. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's going to hurt him if he doesn't win. And I agree with half of what you said, Lee, probably about 80% of it. It's going to hurt him, right? I didn't like the way how you came at me in that take when you said that, you know, Leel doesn't like LeBron James. No. I don't like LeBron James, right? So you're right about that, right? Because I don't like fake people, right? But at the same time, and I see through his bluff, at the same time, I respect LeBron James and I respect his basketball acumen. He's one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Now, with that being said, he chose his team. And look, age doesn't put a restriction on your legacy. It can only add to it, right? It can add to it, but you can hurt it. You can't hurt it. I mean, Tom Brady, for a prime example, he went to Tampa in his 40s. Now, had Tom Brady didn't win, we would have said, you know what? Well, without Bill Belichick, you know, Tom Brady. And I'm a Tom Brady fan. But guess what? He won.
Good point.
He won. So guess what? It adds to his legacy. So LeBron James, he chose the best team on paper to go to. Had he went to Cleveland and said, you know what? Cleveland, this is for you again, part 2, right? And he goes over there.
He doesn't win.
We could buy that story. He just wants to go back home.
You say that now, but y'all would be saying the same thing. It would hurt his legacy. Oh, he didn't win again in those 2 years. You would say the same thing, man. It's LeBron James.
Back and say, you know what? He just wanted to go home. If he went and played with Steph, he just wanted to play with Steph to end his career. We could just go with those narratives and get LeBron off the hook. But now that he chose Philly because they were the best team, now it's like, okay, this is all about championship. And if this is all about championship, then what we going to judge you on? Championship.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Ty, I agree with that. There's no debating that because he picked the most talented place he could go. With the most talent, with skilled players and a team that really, if you look at their starting 5, Leel and Ty, there's not a better starting 5 in basketball. There's not, if all of them are healthy, there's not a better starting five in all of the NBA. So you picked it. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you do that, there's a huge, you have to finish the deal. And I happen to think
you were the missing piece. Clearly, that's how they felt.
That's going to be an issue to
they
his
felt
legacy.
LeBron James was the missing piece. And while he waited and had everybody on pause, like he this God coming to change a franchise life, he dragged it on. He dragged it on to the point where everybody's like, oh, we got to get LeBron. We got to get LeBron. It's almost like 2010. It's almost like 2010.
When you GOAT like status, bro, that's what it comes with the territory. You know, I mean, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
But look, this is why I want to end off at, and I want to talk about this in particular, because to me, and this is just me, everybody got their thing, right? Like J. Cole said, everybody got their thing. Some people make memes for living, right? For a living. I don't make memes. All right. I talk facts. I don't make memes. I talk facts. My thing here is with LeBron James and why I can't buy the LeBron James bluff like everybody else do is because he created a culture modern day with the athlete in the NBA to go team up with each other. You know why the product, and Lee, please don't hit me with these numbers. The reason why the product is declining from a perspective of not financial or viewership, but from a quality standpoint is because super teams were created. Everybody want to play with everybody. Everybody's best friends. Where in Michael Jordan era, there wasn't no friends. Now I mean, it was the bad boy Pistons. We want to get you out of here. We want to hurt you. All right, we have to change the rules because of Kobe Bryant. Nah, we ain't shaking hands. Nah, I mean, I want to kill you on the court. But this LeBron James, oh, D-Wade, what you doing, bro? Chris Bosh, what you doing, bro? Kyrie Irving, what you doing, bro? You know, he want to buddy up with everybody.
And then go out there and still kill him.
It created the
game. Still kill him.
He would never go to the Warriors if LeBron James didn't go to Miami. And now what we have is a trickle-down effect of stars saying, you know what? Instead of me get better individually, instead of me thug it out and try to get over the hump like everybody else doing in the NFL. Lamar Jackson can't do that. Okay? Josh Allen can't do that. Guess what? Next year, they got to get better. They got to go get it.
So Leel, what do you think? What do you think about? What do you think? And I'll say this. I know we got to go, but what do you think about if the franchise is not getting better? What do you think about a player giving all they gave, like LeBron gave Cleveland for the first 7 years of his career? And the franchise, you got to put some of it on the franchise as well.
You go play with Dwayne Wade. You leave. You leave, yeah, sure. I didn't have an issue with LeBron James leaving Cleveland in 2010. I had an issue with LeBron James going to team up with Wade in Miami and in Bosh, because guess what? He had a monster that he wanted to overcome, which was the Celtics with Paul Pierce, KG, and company. And instead of him saying, you know what? All right, cool. Cleveland not doing it for me. I go to the Bulls or I go to New York. How about that? New York, right? His legacy could have been cemented a long time ago.
You want to say where? Yeah, he can go, but I want to tell him where he can go. You know, but Paul Pierce and them joined forces. You know, to do that thing.
It ruined basketball, and now you have to implement the second apron, just so teams don't stack the deck. That's exactly what that is. We got to create more parity.
You talk about the old heads. Nobody never mentioned that they couldn't go nowhere. They couldn't go anywhere. You know, they didn't have free agency like that back in the day, so they couldn't go anywhere. You know, so it's a whole different game, man. And if LeBron James empowered younger this generation to take control of their career and not let the billionaire owners tell them where they can go and this and that.
Tyrone, I hear your perspective. It's all about player empowerment. My perspective, I'm a fan. I'm going to watch the best basketball being played. I don't care nothing about all that. Honestly,
Leel, with all due respect. Let me say this. In LeBron James' defense, do you remember the Houston Rockets with Akeem Olajuwon, Charles Barkley, Scottie Pippen, right, and Clyde Drexler? Do you remember those? That was a super team. Look, I ain't gonna put that on LeBron. I'm not gonna put that on LeBron because it didn't work. But the Houston Rockets, Charles Barkley did it, and so then Charles
Hey,
come back and talk about super teams. You
Lee,
can't
you
have it
talking
both
about
ways.
the
I'm
modern
not
day.
going to allow you to do that.
Paul Malone, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, Gary Payton.
Yeah.
Yeah, come
I'm
on, man.
talking about the
Come on.
modern day super
Come
team.
on, man.
Well,
Come
you
on.
can't say that, Lee. You
Modern
gotta
day
say it.
super team.
We're talking about the history of
History.
the NBA. Stop
You
it.
say
Look.
LeBron started super teams, but you ain't gonna talk about those cats who put those teams together when Barkley was chasing rings,
Yeah, right
when
now
Karl Malone
we
was
have an
chasing
age
rings.
demographic of 27 years old to 34 years old. Okay, just keep that in mind. All right, when we talking here. All right,
LeBron's
we have a young
LeBron's
demographic.
42. LeBron's 42 now, right?
Hey, this
But
is
anyway,
great.
I'm gonna let you get your last point. Final statement. Starting with you, Tyrone.
Hey man, I'm looking forward for a great season, man. I'm excited. I woke up excited when I got that news. You know, it energized me, and I've been waiting. I ain't been on pins and needles to see where he was going. I ain't been checking the internet every day to see where Goat James was going. But hey man, Philly's in a good place, and the Goat's here. The Goat's here. Yeah, New York, get ready. New York, get ready.
New York has been ready. In fact, y'all gotta get better for New York. Y'all looking up to us right now. Lee, final words, man.
Yeah, my final word. Look, Leel, look, I Tyrone threw me off with that goat stuff because that ain't true. But hey, I'm gonna let that slide. Kenny, Bob Myers is the man. It doesn't help that the other guy was LeBron's lifelong friend, but from high school. But Bob Myers is a great GM. But Lil, I'll say this: two things can be true. You got to win the championship, LeBron. You got to win the championship. That's just the way it is. That's the nature of this business. That's what you put yourself in when you decided to go to Philly over Cleveland. That's what it is. And hey, I don't think LeBron is shying away from that or scared of that, but you must win the championship. And the last thing I'll say, Lil, New York, you guys you better get ready.
You on the clock. You on the clock.
Team is a team that, and we do say if with Embiid, but that team's gonna cause some problems, bro. And we gonna be here to talk about it, of course, but I know you're nervous, and I know Kenny is nervous, and I know most New Yorkers got a little sweat coming off the brow, bro.
With all due to respect to my guy Kenny, I'm the real Knicks fan here. My guy Kenny liked the Knicks, but my guy was giving up. My guy Kenny, he jumped off the ship, right before the ship got the safety. He thought it was a Titanic. He jumped off. I saved himself. Me, I stayed on that ship, and we got the shore. So my last take for me, my last statement that I want to make is that my New York Knickerbockers broke the Eastern Conference. We broke it. All right. Everybody want to make moves now. Everybody want to get better because you know what? They see this team, right? They're like, you know what? How? You know, Jalen Brunson is 6'2". You know, Cat, you know, he got dumped by the Timberwolves. You know, how could this team beat everybody like that? Like, nah, we could do that too. We can go out here and make a couple moves and get better because there's no way they could win like that. They just had it because everybody was hurt. No, we're gonna prove to y'all, to every team, to Philly, who got a bunch of players with one basketball. I see that blowing up big time. That's going to be a big fail. And you know what? I feel sorry for a lot of guys on that roster. I feel sorry for LeBron James' legacy. I feel sorry for my guy Jaylen Brown, who I'm a fan of, who I want to be successful because I feel like he's going to be stunted. Right? We're going to look at that team and Embiid. Oh, you haven't got to the Eastern Conference even with LeBron James. Oh, yeah. A lot of those players, if they lose, are going to get the smoke. All right? So just be mindful of that. But yeah, my New York Knickerbockers broke the Eastern Conference, and that's why we seen a bloodbath this offseason. And guess what? It's not going to be enough anyway. That's why I leave it. Nah, I mean, that's why I leave it.
Love it.
It's going to be a good year, fellas. It's going to be a great year.
And I'm looking forward to it. And ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up another episode of The Real Leel Show. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I want to salute my guy Tyrone for stopping through. You're more than welcome to come on this podcast and get the mamas cooking again. You know, my door is always open. And feel free to plug yourself in. How can my listeners find you?
No plug for me, man. Good to be here with you, brother. And always, you and Lee, y'all bring it. And I'm looking forward to getting on with you guys. And yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Lee, feel free to plug yourself in, man. How
I
can my
love
listeners-
Tyrone. I knew he was gonna bring it because he's a diehard LeBron guy. He gonna live and die with him, Leel. So I knew it would be interesting in having him on. But look, after the Buzzer Sports Podcast, every Sunday, 6:30 p.m. This is what we do. You're always gonna get the real from us. None of that sugar-coated, you must do this or must say this. We say what's on our mind. And so I love being on here, and I love debating with my guys Tyrone and the real Leel. You sweating a lot, Leel. That's all I can say. You sweating a lot, but that's a fact. That's my take.
I actually about to take a shower, so I'm not gonna be sweating. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna have me a drink. Now, I mean, I got a pay raise. Now, I mean, I got a different position within my company. Now, I mean, I have to fight for that. Now, I mean, listen, this is a message to everybody. Get your money. Don't let these people out here play with your money. We're not working for free out here. Slavery ended a long time ago. All right, pay me. And that's what I fought for. So I'm going to celebrate my Friday night with a sip of pina colada, and I'm going to watch me a movie. And I'm going to make it do what it do. Ladies and gentlemen, we are out. Peace out. Peace.
Sports, politics, conspiracy theories. We are here to give you our unique perspectives on things happening in the world. It's the one and only, The Real Leel on The Real Leel Show.